Let's go right into it, bro. I see Gangster responded to the Tent Wall Fat video.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I respected that too. He said that it was kind of disrespectful for me to call Timwall Fat a D boy, but he had more information and he had more dealings with Timwall Fat than me. So I gotta respect that. He made the call. You feel me? And he told stories about them being in LTI and shit like that. See, I didn't know that. From my point of view of meeting Fat, I thought Fat was just like a young nigga that just showed up. You feel me? But they had prior experience and they had been to jail together and shit like that. So that's why he came in like he came in. But from my tails end of knowing him, it was he out the tent war and he came in on the strength of the DBs. You feel me?
Bro, and he was like I don't want to say hanging with him, but they was together a lot. Were
Oh
they?
yeah, it was they hung together and he just was in the circle and whatever moves they was making, he was making with them at the time. You feel me?
So yeah, so I can see why it was easy for you to feel like and
Yeah,
say that
yeah. But
you considered it.
he went into stories and everything about them being in jail together. So in actuality, he was older than all of us. So I understand it. I respected his call.
Say, bro, one of the things we didn't touch up on when you would see Fat out there just hanging like nothing heavy going on, they're just cooling. Did he like play around with them sometimes, or was he always serious?
Oh man, he always did play around. Like he the type that for me he the type that he would do like crazy shit like he like for one instance when I told you that he faked like he was gonna rob the dice game and he made everybody lay it down that was out there. You feel me? And then he was like, messing with like, oh y'all pussy, y'all laid it down, and niggas was willing to hand over their money. You feel me? Some you feel me? I ain't gonna say all, but he basically up the strap at the dice game and was like, man, y'all give it up. And and after everybody was, the people that was giving it up, he waited till after they gave it up, and then he started busting out laughing. I'm like, man, these niggas hit these the celebrities right here. You feel me? And just had jokes on niggas like that. You feel me?
Say, Lee, when you and I first got jammed, right? When we started hanging out and got tight, right? I came to the
Yeah.
Magnolia hang out with you that day. It appeared to me that you was a Dooney boy, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Um,
Or they just embraced you like that?
they just embraced me because that was my hood from scratch. You feel me? And plus, everybody we all like we kin to each other from timid, from stupid, from Johnny Boo, from Kenny Boo to Shorty Mike. Like, and 411 was my neighbor. You feel me? Because Gangster stayed on the left side of me. And then I stayed on the second floor in the next building, and my actual next door neighbor was 411. You feel me? So it was kind of like hard, even when the situations with the going on, and people having disagreements with OGs that come before us. You feel me? And some of the people they was colliding with was also part of doing the gang, original hot boys and shit like that. And it just was mind boggling to me, like how could you beef with someone that was considered doing your brother? You feel me? And and shit. Now that I'm older, I look at shit and be like, man, how that even happened? You feel me? Or even other situations where other people that got killed and they was originally from out the Magnolia and moved to a different set and shit like that. And because all our cousins, our girl cousins, they would go to school together and hang together too. You feel me?
Mhm. Say, bro, how many Dooney boys would you say they were, if you
Um,
could say?
I would say about 15 to 20.
Damn,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, 15 to 20. You feel me?
What was it? Was it organized to where they had soldiers, they had leaders, hustlers, or was it just kind of like they were all just like
It was,
gremlins and shit? Just
when you said organized, we all, they all moved on one band, one sound. You feel me? It was never like, oh, he in charge, this one in charge. It was like everybody had their own different shift. You feel me? Like, some people work the morning, some people work night. You feel me? And some people work like, just to watch out and shit like that. You feel me?
so you say
But
it worked, right? Because one of the first things come to mind when you hear these Dooney Boy stories, you think straight gangster. You might think jacking shootouts and shit. So they was actually getting money.
Yeah, they was actually getting money. Yeah, that was the whole thing was about. The whole thing was about making sure everybody looked good. You feel me? It wasn't never like, oh, this only one person eating. You feel me? Like when you say like Doney Boys, you got to think about people like Ski Boo. Ski Boo was actually, you know, on the I would say on the same level as Dooney. You feel me? And Ski Boo not even that type of person where he would put someone up under him. He was always would want you to shine the same as him. He would always look out. You feel me?
And Ski Boo was a Dooney boy, right?
I wouldn't call Ski Boo a Dooney boy because Ski Boo was like always been a stand up, on his own. You feel me? He always stood up on his own, and he was equal level to Dooney. He wasn't a Dooney boy. He was
But he
his
was cool with them.
he was part of the crew, but he was Ski Boo. You feel me? Yeah. He always been a stand up person, like bro. He ain't never been like, one to follow. He always have been a leader. You feel me?
Yeah, and that's how everybody speak on him when they speak on us. That's certain respect on his name. Say, bro, when you hear the name Dooney Boys, when you hear the name Dooney Boys, right? What comes to mind?
Um,
What the first thing comes to mind?
First thing coming to mind is strong and young hustlers. You feel me? Because I would consider my one of my best friends, Tuna, a Dooney boy. You feel me? And Tuna basically got his whole swag and everything after he met Dooney. You feel me? He started learning about Versace and Ferragamos and just upscale luxury clothing and shit like that. Because Dooney was big on Versace shit and shit like that. Like prior to that, we was Jordan and Nike and shit like that. You feel me? And L Mac 95s. But when Dooney started, coming and hanging, he was more on the Saks Fifth era. You feel me? Like the Versace silk shirts and Ferragamos and shit like that. Like, we ain't know nothing about that till he started stepping out on that type of level. You feel me?
I was online one time and I was looking for some photos of some young guy. I forget what the image of I was looking, but I ran into this picture of the Dooney Boys. Did
Yeah.
not know they was from New Orleans. Did not know that was the Magnolia Project. But I kept looking at them little dudes, and I was thinking that was from a movie or something.
Yeah.
Bro, they was they was starting from like maybe 12, maybe 11 to 12, up to maybe like 16, 17. But they was dressed up like what you were saying, like they had been dressed
Button ups and shit
like
like
they,
that.
yeah.
He
But they
brung
was young. They was like young men. They was like
Yeah,
little fucking men.
from that type of level to the hood. And plus, me coming up for when it got to Coogee and shit like that, we also looked at other people from different hoods too. Like this guy named Cali Your Eyes. Like, man, this man would come to a second line and just be sharp from head to toe. You feel me? And even though he was from a different hood, we looked at him and be like, boy, that boy got that shit on. You feel me? He didn't have that regular shit on. He'll have Coogee on. He'll have some Versace shit on. And just alone walking the second line, you ain't gonna see nobody else dressed with what he have on. So that made us want to step our game up as youngsters. You feel me?
if if you could say, bro, only if you could, 'cause I know it's so many of them. If you had to say the top five Dooney Boys,
The top five Dooney boys. Oh, I don't, I wouldn't.
if it's best not to say, because people get fucked up, because people, if it's never. All right, look. Matter of fact, let's break them down right quick, because I fuck. Even though we hadn't really got jammed and we didn't even do no work yet. I fuck with Johnny Boo, bro. I like how you
Yeah,
represent the Dooney Boys, and let's bring it back then though. Who was
yeah,
Johnny Boo back then at that time?
yeah. Johnny Boo was outside. You feel me? Like you had Tuna, you had Kenny Boo, you had Shorty Mike, you had man. Let me see. You had Elvin, you had Canelvin. Kelvin. Kelvin basically, he was a Dooney boy too. You feel me? But Slim kind of like made it like intertwined to. It's almost like when Dooney got killed, it was like almost like everybody just, went up under Slim, you feel me? Because Slim trying to come in on that end of filling in for Dooney when, Dooney got killed, you feel me? Slim went to coming to the hood. He ain't never not come to the hood, but he was just like a little more active of trying to keep niggas hustling, you feel me?
Say, bro, you fucked me up last time with this conversation, right? With the same.
And even when Slim came to the hood, Slim always been on some bully shit. You feel me? Even when Slim came to the hood, Slim came to the hood on some bully shit too. Like, man, y'all can't hustle on this end either. You feel me? And we had two of our OGs, and they wound up fighting. You feel me? Him and Hall, they wound up having a fight over the whole set. You feel me?
Say, bro, could you say Slim kind of took over the Dooney Boys once Dooney died?
Yeah, Slim basically stepped in, and it's funny because I remember this here day when I think Slim was like putting the pressure on, like, nobody couldn't sell the heroin on the block but him. If it wasn't for him, he was like, you can't serve it on that end, you feel me? And so, one of the other OGs, he was like, man, motherfuck that, you feel me? Ain't no nigga coming through here and talking that shit like that. And Slim had his cousin back there, which was 12 o'clock, right? So somebody relayed the message and was like, man, Slim not out there. 12 o'clock out there. And the OG, he passed away at this time. So the OG heard that and was like, who out there? They was like 12 o'clock out there. That nigga say, man, I don't give a fuck. I'll turn him into 6 o'clock. You feel me? Just like, what? You're crazy. So, they come down, they came out the driveway, you heard me? They wind up catching Slim like at a bad moment where Slim wasn't strapped that day, you feel me? And so they came out with, they came out prepared. You feel me? They were so prepared to the Slim turned around and was like, "Ooh wee!" when he saw the K cutters. You feel me? So Slim went to thinking fast. Slim was like, "Man, look, man, we from the same hood. We just might as well go ahead and scrap it out." So we thinking, you thinking like these two older cats, they about to scrap it out for a minute. You feel me? They about to be some hard man. These mans went to fighting for like I'm gonna say 1 minute, and both of them was out of breath.
On
So
some
they
old
wound up
shit.
just hugging each other and both breathing. How about Slim pull out a pack of cigarettes and they wound up smoking on the porch and laughing about the whole thing after that. You feel me?
Yeah, you gotta have some balls to tell a nigga you can't hustle in this area like he bought the area or something, huh? Like,
Man, Slim always was on the T-rep tip. You feel me? Slim always felt like, I gotta put my law down first. You feel me? If
but
anybody
everybody
knows
talk
Slim,
about
Slim
Slim with that
always gonna
penitentiary
talk shit.
game
You
shit.
feel me?
Huh?
If anybody knows Slim, they know Dirty gonna always talk. That son you talk. You feel me? He gonna try to send you in some type of way. You feel me?
I heard a lot of niggas say Slim gonna hit you with that penitentiary shit, try to run that game on you.
Oh, facts. Slim one of the best. I could say Slim know how to manipulate you into doing some shit to not make you feel bad about doing it. You feel me? Slim.
Damn, I'm trying to put in my mind, you might have said it earlier. I try to put in my mind how these are Dooney's boys. So
Yeah.
Slim and Dooney must have been like this. Slim and
No,
Dooney was.
Dooney wasn't like that. Slim and Dooney
So
was
how'd that respect transfer, bro, from Dooney to Slim that easily?
because Slim always been a big dog in the neighborhood. Slim the type of nigga, if your believe it or not, Slim always inherited everything Magnolia. You feel me? Like even if you had a situation that popped off with somebody and they wasn't from the hood, Slim would step in and be like, "You got that." You feel me? Behind closed doors, Slim would be like, most OGs like that I come up under. If something happened to you, they sit back and watch before they try to help you to see what type of person you is. You feel me? Before they lend a hand or give you some type of guidance. You feel me? Because when shit happened to you bad, that's when it shows your character, what type of person you is. You feel me? Man, Slim is have always been hard headed, and Slim has always been confrontational. You feel me? From even with we got I got an OG from out my neighborhood named Stuff. You feel me? Him and Stuff, I would feel like every Friday or Saturday they the same height. They the same height. If Stuff not taller than him, but them two always clash. You feel me? Every time they have a disagreement, they just go to swinging. Ah, them boys start fighting. And then later on that day, it be back the same thing. They gonna last like 8 hours, and then him and Slim gonna fight again later on that night. You feel me? And them two, by them being the two, I'm gonna say like they almost like the tallest dudes in our neighborhood, and they all, they was family with each other, but they always would clash. You feel me? And and that's just like the type of. They both had the same personalities. You feel me? They always was big dogs, and they listening to what they say. You feel me? Like, man, they gonna do it their way, and that's what type of person Slim was. He always wanted to do it his way.
See, Lee, now when you said what you're saying earlier too about even though B Stoop was a Dooney boy, when you think of B Stoop, you think of Soulja Slim. You don't think of Dooney, you actually think of Soulja Slim.
Yeah, that's
Because
facts.
probably because Stoop held Slim down so hard too, you know?
Yeah, fucks. Anybody from our neighborhood gonna hold Slim down. Slim like almost could like he could smooth shit over with anybody in the neighborhood. You feel me? Even with you could tell what type of person Slim was, what type of power he had, because even with Cutthroat, you had Chaotic over there from front of town of the Cali, yo. You had Bub, you had Danny, and all of them, and we all hung together like it wasn't no hood when it come to Slim. You feel me?
Right.
We all became a family. You feel me? From Chaotic to Derek to Wacko to it never was no type of neighborhood shit come up whenever Slim around.
Slim had that effect on the city. Say, I think because Slim was going to jail and meeting niggas from everywhere and shit.
Yeah.
Probably not. That personality was
I would
just
say
like
that
that,
too.
dude.
I would say that too, because you got Slim with songs mentioning Sean Smith, dudes from downtown and shit like that. Which I wouldn't even know who that is if Slim wouldn't have mentioned him. So just off of Slim mentioning him, like, man, that's a solid name. You feel me? That automatically branches me to him as paying him respect off of somebody who come before me giving a hand out to him. You feel me? Like, bro, that's a real dude. You feel me? And that's how it translate in the city. Because they ain't just make one gangster. You feel me? They made gangsters all over. You feel me?
Say, Lee, I'm gonna tell you who we don't talk about enough, bro. Hold up, because I wanted to close out on the Dooney Boys. I just want to make sure we have. I'm gonna tell you who we don't talk about enough, bro, on this subject. Six Shot.
Facts, yeah.
Don't you know Six Shot gave me the name Video Wayne?
Oh, that's crazy, man. I never do that.
Yeah.
Six Shot is actually one of the people like once I went to doing music and I've learning how to do music with BG Derek and shit like that. Six was actually one of the persons I picked up my style from in metaphors and put me on to up north music like Mobb Deep and Jada Kiss and shit like that. You feel me?
Because Six been having that style too. When I first met him, he kind of reminded me of
He's
the
like
East
one of
Coast
the top
style.
metaphor rappers. You feel me?
He was a lyricist,
Yeah.
real. Say, what's up with him right now? What's up with Six?
Oh man, Six in the city. He doing his thing. You heard me? That I can call him anytime. You feel me? Man, that's you feel me. He treat me like his. That's I'm basically his nephew. You feel me? And I know Six whole family. Man, Six is actually like my real uncle. You feel me? Six done lived in the same house with me at my grandmother's house. I done been to his house. His uncle, my uncle Walt, which is his brother, who was in a wheelchair. And his sister. I basically know his family. That's how I became. I was tweaking as a youngster trying to get a cigar burned on my own because they had their own crew called SBOGT, and it was on Quadil. It was on Cat and Shadi, and just their whole crew. They had a crew called SBOGT, which came from Hype Enough, and all us was over there at Hype Enough, from Turk to Kelly and Reg from the cartels, and
Say, bro, at Soulja Slim's second line, Six Shot said, I miss my dog, man, from thugging to drugging and all that, right? And then I
yeah,
heard some stories about Six, which I would have never thought, I would have never guessed this. But the stories I heard put Six Shot out there, like he was that guy. Like, they ain't call him Six Shot for nothing, basically.
yeah, facts. He was that guy. You feel me? And shout out to Six Shot. Shout out to my OG Ike too. You feel me? And OG stuff.
So Six Shot was actually in the street at one point, like really.
Yeah, Six Shot was man. Six Shot is the street. Six Shot was Willow and Washington. All of them hung on Willow and Washington. Slim hung on Willow and Washington, which after Giggity went to jail and Dooney situation happened, Slim hung both closer to Willow and Washington, and that's where B Stupid stayed at on the corner of Willow and Washington.
Before we get all the way off the Dooney Boys, bro, I was watching True Be Told,
Yeah.
and dope interview with the young lady Kiki.
Yeah. Magnolia Kiki. Yeah. The landlord.
She
You
she
heard
she
me?
she seemed to be there for a lot of stories. Some of the same stories you told. I mean, she put herself there. So I was like, she
Man,
must have grew up on that shit too, you know.
that's Kiki. Yeah. You know, everybody was outside. This ain't just like no, it ain't like it was just, like no small area. The project really goes from Claiborne to what, LaSalle, you feel me? And you had every different parts. Jernell way from the TC, but Jernell come on Willow Street, you feel me?
Say, bro.
I told you, even when I was younger, I was bad terrorizing shit. Me, my partner Bussy, Cortez, and Menard, and Bobo, Wendell, and all us. We did a lot of shit in the hood. But Jern was way out the TC, man. Jern to come way on Willow Street and do shit. You feel me?
He
That's
told me one time.
his stories. That man, me and that man was fighting every day. This man slapped me in my face with a player grip ply, almost knocked my teeth out. You feel me? You think if he light skinned, he'll push over. You feel me? That
Oh
boy was
shit.
like, hell nah. You feel me?
Say, bro, he hit you in your face with a pair of grip pliers, bro.
Man, hit me in my face with a player grip ply. I had to wait I had to wait for like 4 or 5 months to get him back because he wasn't letting his guards down. You feel me? Because his cousin is Jeffrey Sanders. Lil Jeff, Stormy is the daddy, but Lil Jeff is his own cousin. And they stayed on Willow. His mama name is Dion, and his auntie was named Yodi. So even on the weekends, he would have to come over to their house, right?
Right, you waiting for
So,
his ass.
so yeah, so he's still hanging with us. I remember one day we riding around Napoleon trying to go steal bikes. He on the handlebars because he want to steal a bike too. You feel me? But so he's still spooking off me. He like, man, this man ain't did me nothing yet. You feel me? Because he done hit me in my teeth with some grip
Right.
pliers. I'm talking about my shit was loose. So I done let my shit heal up. So he thinking he getting away with it. He like, man, this man ain't did nothing yet. So his own cousin Jeff was like, man, you gonna let that slide? Cause he know my personality. You feel me? But I let it slide for like 5 months, and then one morning he came out early, and I told you my best friend Tuna was like, man, Jern over there. You feel me? So when Jern come on out, and when Jern come on out, I just snuck him. You heard me? So I wound up jumping on him from behind and whatever, and getting and damn near knocking him out, and had him with like almost like a black eye. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
fuck
all
that.
his cousin Ronika Sanders and Andrea and all of them, they all looking for me. The whole time they looking for me, they don't know I'm at the. They had a game room on Washington and Willow that was owned by this older guy named Richard. So they all over looking for me. They don't know I'm behind what you call those mirrors. Like you can see out of it, but you can't see in it. Because
Uh,
the window on the game room where you give the change at, because you'll need quarters or whatever to get money to play the games, right?
right.
The whole time they all around looking for me, I'm looking at them through I forgot what you call those type of windows. Because you can see out it, but you can't see in it. And I'm giving them change and everything while they waiting on me in the game room the whole
They were
time.
gonna jump you, bro. They were gonna jump you on the
Yeah, and it was, man, I'm talking about they were 15 deep, you feel me?
Lord.
They waiting on me in the game room, but every time they come to the window to get change, to get quarters for their dollars to play the game, to wait on me, I'm the one giving them the change. Because then we know it's a two-way mirror, you feel me?
Oh shit.
They can't see, they can see in it, but I can see out of it, you feel me? And I'm studying just dropping the coins in the thing when they give me their money the whole
Say,
time.
bro.
And Richard like, what you up in here for? What you up in here for? I'm working, you heard me?
Working free this day.
I done
Say, bro,
told him to help
you
you to
waited
get
5 months for
paid.
that ass whipping, boy.
You heard me?
5 months, dog. That shit was built up, dog. You talking about 5 months. You dreaming about getting this back.
Oh yeah, that boy hit me with something. Ooh, that boy hit me with a two-piece over a bike. You heard me? I'm talking about a big grip ply, not one of them small. Backer.
Oh shit.
About time I come back to myself, able to look and see who did it. Shit, he was halfway on the other side of the project on the bike. I was like, oh hell no,
Say, bro, you ain't even know who did it, bro.
man! I ain't even know
Oh shit.
he hit me so hard with the grip plies.
Oh man.
My
Say, bro.
partner was like, God dang. Tell you, we really used to be outside at 7 o'clock in the morning already get put out the house and we be out there, it'd be, boys and girls. Like even Kiki out there. Then you had Rotunda out there, which is Wolf daughter. You had Yadi Janique and them, which is Johnny Boo big cousins. Like, man, it was really like everybody outside. You had to be outside. You feel me? And and that also made us close knitted and family. You feel me?
Like a tribe, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Say, bro, I'm about to switch it all the way up.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm in order with this shit though. Did you see Dogface on Vlad when he spoke about the culture of New Orleans, and I think he was leaning more on the Big Freedia shit because after the interview we talked, and that's kind of like where he was getting the shit from the music and things like that, and then he kind of leaned in on the prison stories that he was getting and stuff. But did you see it, and did you have any thoughts on
I
that?
didn't get a chance to see it. What was said? What he had quoted?
Yeah, he basically was saying he started talking about New Orleans culture and how I don't think he said most of New Orleans, but he was like
Yeah. Everybody gonna have their own opinion on what New Orleans culture is and what we represent. You feel me? Like, it's completely two different things. Did bounce music. Soulja Slim did bounce music and Freedia did bounce music. You feel me? That's two different lanes. You feel me? Josephine Johnny for sure did bounce music, but when you look at Johnny history, you see that he was a street cat too. You feel me? So everybody from outside gonna perceive it different, and then you got a narrative that's going around right now with the Ben 10 and the JR thing. So they basically he want to get into the algorithm. So why not speak on to that? You feel me?
Bro, I was about to go right into that shit, bro. Cause this Ben 10 shit. I'm gonna tell you the thing that got me, bro. That Big Johnny said. Him getting shot probably saved his life, right? So
Yeah.
if you're thinking wisely, you're thinking real shit, cause that might slow him down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with that shit. Homie going faster.
When you get hit, or for some people it turns on the switch that you got to go harder, and for some people it slows them down and give them time to idolize what they're going through and how precious life is. You feel me? But some people, it turns them on. Like he done been through a lot of shit. You feel me? We don't know what his prior experience is with life. You feel me? He may feel like he done did everything he could do in his life. He don't give a shit. You feel me? He's standing on all 10.
Say, Lee, but
They
you
the
getting
wrong
shot.
down. And they say with age come wisdom. You feel me? He's just a kid. You feel me?
Yo, how old is dude? Dude, about what? He about 20 something, huh?
Yeah, he probably no more than 25. You feel me?
Damn.
Shit,
Hey,
it's
bro, and with you,
my
with
first
you be
my first encounter with NBA YoungBoy. It was like it was crazy. You feel me? I was actually in a room. We all in a room. We 30 deep in a room up in I think he had a concert at the Loft in Atlanta. I don't know him from a can of paint. He came in the room and was like, "Man, who all these bitch ass in here is?" You feel me? Just out the blue. And that was my first run-in with him. You feel me?
say
But
that was his dressing room or something?
yeah, we was in the dressing room, and that's how he bust in that bitch. And out of everybody in that bitch, he wound up. I would say he kind of took favor to me because I'm the only one answered. Not saying I'm the baddest person in the world, but I had to be like, "Man, who you talking to?" And he was like, "Who you is?" And I'm like, "I'm Magnolia Levee." And then he said who he is, and come to find out, one of my friends from high school, which is Fred, he was the bodyguard. So he jumped in between them and went to explaining to him who I was. And he was like, "Nah, man, he official, you feel me?" And that's how it wound up calming down.
What
But
young boy was he at that time? Was he
this was before he had the big hits. This was like on his way up, you feel me? Because he was just I think that was his first show in Atlanta, you feel me? At the Loft on I think what that's here, 17th Street, 17 and West Peachtree.
you ever met Ben 10?
No, I haven't met Ben 10, but during that time, I think that was the first day that BBG Joe had just got out because he was so hyped about him being out of jail and showing his pistol and shit. You feel me?
Say, Lee, with you being shot, could you relate to Ben 10 and him having a feeling of like I don't know if I want to say revenge or whatever. But did it make you hype? Did it kind of make you out there initially?
It for me, it also determines like the crowd that you're around. You feel me? Because I told you when I first got hit, the friends that I had, they was we was built on just nigga get shot every day. You feel me? So they, it was also like almost therapy for me when I got shot. Cause my friends, I'll be sitting somewhere with food on my lap, and they'll take my food and be like, "Bitch, you ain't did the other person nothing. You ain't about to." So that would give me the anger to use it to make me hurry up and heal up, so I could go back to the hood and be like, "Oh yeah, nah, not what it is." You feel me? Not what it is. You feel me?
Do you think at some point it's gonna click in his mind for him to kind of slow down?
Oh yeah, I told you with age come wisdom. Right now everybody's dwelling on that. Next week it'll be something else.
Yep. Yep. Say, might be a crazy, crazy question, bro, because it's so broad. This shit might, but I'm gonna just ask it anyway. If there was a movie called The Magnolia Projects,
Yeah.
who would be the top five characters? Whether that be groups like the Hot Boys or whether that,
Fuck, we gonna keep it all the way 100. You would have to do it the official Hot Boys movie, like I'm talking like Killer Stone and the whole crew. You feel me? From Giggity and the whole crew. And then after that, it would be automatically Slim got to be in there. You feel me? Because Slim the official.
Slim gotta be in that bitch.
And Juvenile would have to be on the list too, because
Juvie gotta be in that bitch somewhere.
Then after it would, when I said what I went Real Hot Boys, Slim, Juvenile. Then you would also have to have the Dooney level of this shit. You feel me?
Would you say Cash Money Records would make the movie, right? Cash Money Records would have to make the Magnolia movie, bro.
Yeah, Cash Money would have to make the movie, and then you was all that there's other parts of movies like you would also have to go with it's we got so many, bro,
So many eras, right?
yeah, and you got so many people that's considered when you mention the Magnolia that they made part history or did something to put an effect on another person. You feel me? Because you hear Slim raps and you think about the meatballs and the black and moles and you got to think about just all the other shits. You got people like Skit. You got people like Booby Black. And then
Mm.
you got other people like it just keeps on coming. You feel me? Then you have
Right.
the whole Belmont court. You feel me? You got other legends from the neighborhood too, like Ronald Camooch and all of them. You feel me?
Who you see the top three women or the top five women that have to be in that bitch?
The top five women.
I
Uh,
heard of a lady called they call
Wanola,
her huh?
Wanola.
Wanola, I think that what Wacko was talking about her.
Oh, you talking about Trisha?
And they did the second line for her and stuff.
Trisha, yeah, Trisha.
Okay.
Trisha was like almost like I don't even consider Trisha.
She was the queen. They called her the queen.
Yeah, that's Trisha. You talking about Trisha really was like, man, this was a woman, but I'm talking about every part of her was a hustler, a gangster, whatever this shit that ever came up, she was with it. You feel me? She done been out there when people get robbed and watched, and you feel me? And just and of course, everybody come up under somebody. Like you got the Winola, which is Johnny Boo, ain't T. Then you got the Four Sales, which from Diane, Juju, Peony, and all of them. And then you got the Morgan family, which is Duke now, and Leonard Morgan, whole family, and Javonda and all of them. You feel me? It's always different eras to it. You feel me? Then you got people like Hogg and August and them. They was brothers, and all of them was a crew. You feel me? You got Eric Maurice. Man, this is just so many. You feel me?
Yeah, I was gonna ask what
I
yo.
heard how Slim rep for Eric Maurice when he said he came back dressed like a clown and came back looking at his work. You feel me?
Mm, we never talked about Eric Maurice either.
That was that was Chinese brother,
Who?
Chinese, big Chinese.
That's our brother.
Yeah, that was her brother. Yeah,
I heard about Big Chinese before.
yeah,
I think I heard about it through you.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we did beautiful. I really wanted to get that Dooney Boy shit. I wanted to get more on Johnny Boo because his representation of the Dooney Boys is like sharp because he stay on that shit. So I was like, homie gonna represent every time the name come up. So I said, oh,
Oh yeah,
next time me and Lee talk, I'm gonna show him some love.
you know,
Yep.
and that's why Nola nephew. You feel me? So you gotta, but he was out there.
Who you talking about?
Johnny Boo. Johnny Boo is why Nola nephew.
Okay.
Mm.
Damn, bro. Johnny Boo was off the porch early.
Johnny Boo was off the porch early. Like when you say off the porch in the Magnolia, bro, it wasn't no porch. You feel me?
Damn.
No porch. And the Magnolia was not a porch. If you was in the project, you basically in that mud. You feel me?
He was shoved out there.
If Giggity had something going on and he come running out the door with that AK, it is what it is. You feel me? You gonna take cover and you gonna see him pass. Or if somebody spin through looking for Giggity, you out there. This is just automatically catch shelter and do what you do. You feel me?
Mm.
And that's how when it comes back to if one person got a problem, we all got a problem. You feel me? Because believe it or not, if somebody come through shooting that giggity and they fuck up our football game, now I got to go inside all day because this nigga came through and shot our hood up. You feel me? I'm mad that the nigga shooting that gangster. You feel me? Like, you done fucked the football game up. Now what that's gonna make me mad? You feel me? So the next time nigga come through, man, we gonna start shooting at they shit before they even get down here.
Say Lee, I gotta touch up on it, bro. We're gonna take it to one of the latest generations. Did you see and hear what happened with the incident with Nino Calvin out there in Baton Rouge?
Oh, up in Baton Rouge, yeah, I saw that.
A lot of people thought he should crash out, right? Say, oh, if he was another black dude, he'd crashed out. What's your thoughts on that, bro? He was by himself with a little chick, you know?
Yeah, the thoughts always gonna be veiled, you feel me, when he's dealing with popularity, you feel me? Whenever you popular, everybody got an opinion on you, you feel me? So that come with the game, you feel me? You can't wear your heart on the sleeve, you feel me? You gotta do whatever it takes to make it home. At that situation, at that point in time, he did the right thing. Now if he won't double back later and knock the fucking sign off the wall, you do that on your own time, you feel me? Without no when the camera involved, they tweaking for you to catch a case. You feel me?
Real shit.
A lot of people say what they would do in a certain situation, man. When they get put in that situation, it'd be a whole type of different time. You feel me?
Yep. Well, that's all I kept thinking. Yep. A nigga gonna talk that shit until they get put in that situation. There'll
Facts.
be no cameras out there.
Yeah. It done happened so many times, bro, that you done saw, it just moments. Sometimes you could be the hypest and the most dangerous person in the world. But when you get outnumbered and you're in that corner, sometimes you're gonna have to buckle, you feel me? You gotta know when to roll and when to hold, you feel me?
Mm.
It's plenty of people from my neighborhood, bro, that people don't hear or they name or even BG Derrick, believe it or not, bro. Most of the time, bro, you wouldn't believe how much time way out the tent wall, how much time people spent in the Magnolia. Like BG is damn near almost like he got Magnolia inheritance too. You feel me? Because he was on Willow for hanging with gangster. You feel me? And when shit would go down over there, BG would just happen to be in the neighborhood. You feel me?
He would at least have to be mentioned in the movie if he wasn't in that bitch.
Yeah, facts.
BG.
The movie would have to spread about relationships and everything from no limit people to everything. You feel me? You got people like Reginelli who out the Magnolia too. You feel me?
That bitch had to be like Power, bro. That bitch had to be it had to be a series, Lee.
Yeah, and if you see the interview what Wack had with No Rap Cap, you saw Wack say Donkey Kong gave him his name, and Donk was a real gunslinger. You feel me? Donk is actually the one who introduced me to Fino.
Bro, I grew up hearing that name Donkey Kong, bro.
Yeah, that's LL oldest brother, and L and it's Tyrone, and then they call Tyrone Donkey Kong too. But then they got the older brother, which is who used to go with Nitra, that Donkey Kong. And man, this man used to wear a leather jacket in the summer just to have the heat on him. You feel me? Just to be strapped.
Say Lee, how the it seemed like every generation there was a group of Magnolia hoes. How did Magnolia hoes even get started, bro?
It
And was that that's a real thing? Like that was a real group of chicks?
Yeah, that was a real group of tricks. You feel me? That's just like in our neighborhood, when you say Magnolia hoes, it's not like, some people might think it's demeaning, but it really was like big time rappers, you feel me? Because you got Magnolia hoes who hustlers too, you feel me?
Mm,
If you go down the line, you think about other hustlers, and some of the Magnolia hoes had more paper than you feel me?
mm.
So you just can't be like, oh, them Magnolia niggas getting money. That's when the women be like, no, these Magnolia hoes getting money too, you feel me?
How'd they get their name from just hanging out? From
From just hanging out. And it's just something that they branded and stood behind. You feel me?
and then they had a lot of respect on their name. Cause when I got to the know you, niggas was really respecting them. It was
Oh yeah, these ain't no. And dog, when you think of hustlers, it ain't just no one sided shit where it's all niggas who hustlers. You have women who sell dope too, or hustling with weed, or grinding. You feel me? This shit go all the way around the board. You have people prior to. You got people like medication, and part of the history with Leonard Morgan. At one time, that was Leonard Morgan girlfriend medication, and she had the weed pumping on the whole willow. You feel me? Even in the song, you heard Slim say, "I go get the 5 for 20 from medication."
mm.
At
Say,
that
bro. Go ahead.
at that time, that was Leonard Morgan, old lady. You feel me?
Mm. Say, bro. Remember that night that day we was out there for the Super Sunday? I was taping for BG,
Yeah.
and there was a little guy, little dark skinned dude. He was hanging with BG, and he said he was Soulja Slim brother. That's
Oh, you talking about Network? That's Tootie.
yeah,
Network.
dude. Yeah.
He actually, like, when Katrina hit, he's one of the reasons that I came to Atlanta too, because he already had. We call him Network because he knew how to network and make celebrities, people who was important, let their guards down with him. You feel me? This man then had me spending a night at Loon House, Loon from Harlem World. You feel me? And he had a way of making people let their guards down with him and give him access to him. You feel me? Because he'll learn, like, he the type of person when he go to a club, he want to find out who owned the club. Now he'll get that person number who owned the club, and later on through that day, us being cool with Juvenile. Juvenile plug up with Jazzy Faye because he was recording that on Peachtree Industrial out here up in Atlanta. So now Jazzy Faye no Network, you feel me? So Network we're gonna be the one who provide the smoke, the go to the store and do whatever, you feel me? So now they got a relationship, they learn to trust him. So now Jazzy Faye later on the night, Jazzy Faye like, oh man, I want to go to Velvet Room. And that's owned by Alex. But the night before, Juve had something at Velvet Room. So he got Alex's number. So now he calls Alex and was like, yo, bro, I got Jazzy Faye with me. We about to come to the club. So Alex like, damn, this nigga know Jazzy Faye or such and such. Now he like, oh man, Jazzy really pulled up. So now that means Alex done let his guard down with that work.
Say,
So
bro, I never guessed that shit by just talking to homie that day. You know what I'm saying?
so even when the Yang Yang twins came to New Orleans to do a song with BG, Network will plug the whole thing. Network gonna be the one that go get the smoke from, the liquor, and everything. So now when he come to Atlanta again, they're like, man, that's your boy Network. Now he could be like, oh, when they say they going somewhere, he could call Alex again. Like, oh man, me and the Yang Yang twins about to fall through. Like Alex, like, man, how this nigga know him? You feel me? And from Yang Yang twins, he gonna learn. From Jazzy Faye, he met Loon. So now he running with Loon. You feel me?
Mm,
So
damn.
even when he got to Atlanta, he was able to get into the BMF crew, and he wound up going to jail out here off of some BMF stuff. He stayed in a hotel with a credit card from the BMF crew and wound up going to jail out here for that.
Damn. Say, bro, what's up with him today? He's still rolling?
Oh, he actually wound up getting graduation in New Orleans. And before he got killed, he actually was. I think he was getting an acting gig with Sticky Fingers because that's who he was hanging out with, the dude Sticky Fingers.
Damn. I'm sorry to hear that shit, bro. The homie was cool as a motherfucker.
Oh,
he would let me
I was
he would
never.
let me know too though. If I had any issues, let me I see you, but let me know you got any issues out here.
Yeah, facts. He really could make a call. You feel me?
Damn, bro, I'm sorry to hear that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he part of Cutthroat Committee?
Yeah, he was part man. He was out the Magnolia. He was like Mr. Magnolia. You feel me? He was part of Cutthroat, UTP, all of that. He repped everything. He was
Yeah,
one of
man, that was.
he gonna rep it. If it's hood, he repping it. He gonna make sure himself the brand ambassador.
Yeah, but that was a good little session right there. I'm glad we ran up on that. Now I'm able to use all that footage I got on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
shit.
the picture. You got the picture with me, him, and Slim on the picture, huh?
Now I can use it though. Definitely want it now.
Send it to you as soon as we get off the phone.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What's happening is Magnolia Levee at Magnolia Levee. You know where to follow me at on all platforms at Magnolia Levee. MAGNOLIALEVEE. Let's go.